Good morning, I'm Fred Childers. Thanks for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Politics on your local election headquarters. Well, we have a lot to share, so we want to get started. So let's get into it. Well, a new poll by Nexstar Nexstar Media and Emerson College, the gap between candidates for governor is growing as we inch toward the primary election. Capitol reporter Shannon Hecht brings us a detailed breakdown of that data.
A poll by Nexstar Media and Emerson College shows Attorney General Jeff Landry pulling away from all other candidates in this race. Shawn Wilson is still holding on to cause a runoff, and down the ballot there are still many undecided voters. Attorney General Jeff Landry is pulling ahead with 40% of the nearly 1,000 likely voters giving him support. Democrat DOTD Secretary Shawn Wilson is still pushing a runoff with 22% support. Executive Director of Emerson College Polling Spencer Kimball says that Republicans have been able to shave off some people who previously supported John Bel Edwards.
Like Sharon Hewitt, she's getting 10% of the black vote. And for Wilson to win, he really needs to capture a large percent of that vote and can't give up any of that to Republican candidates.
Down the ballot in the Secretary of State's race, the poll shows that Democrat Attorney Gwen Collins Greenup is leading the race with 10%. In the Attorney General's race, State Representative John Stefanski is pulling 7% of the vote. Jeremy Alford with LAPolitics.com says that these races could still have big changes.
When you have an undecided that is so massive, that's an indication that many voters are still undecided about what they're going to do and really unaware of probably who's even in the race.
While in the race for governor, the undecided voters are quickly shrinking. It'll be up to the campaigns to get their message out there to sweep up those who haven't made up their minds. On Thursday, I'll have the data from the poll showing what are the major issues that voters are focusing on this election. For your local election headquarters, I'm Shannon Hecht.
All right, we're not done yet. Also in that poll by Nexstar Media and Emerson College, it shows Louisianans are feeling the impacts of crime, insurance costs, and the political parties are torn on educational needs. Capitol reporter Shannon Hecht continues our coverage.
A poll by Nexstar Media and Emerson College shows that voters are looking for answers about crime, and who they believe can fix issues around education is creating a political divide. With 3 cities topping the charts for crime and some conservatives looking to roll back past criminal justice reforms, the topic is front of mind.
If we've learned anything over these past few terms of state government, crime is this like pendulum of a policy issue where lawmakers will come in and they'll say, let's get smart about mandatory minimums and other things, and they'll start to roll that back and try to save the state some money, and then crime will become an issue again, and then you'll have lawmakers taking a tough on crime stance.
The poll shows that nearly 40% of voters believe that their neighborhoods are less safe than they were a year ago. Louisiana ranks at or near the bottom when it comes to educational scores.
People that say, hey, the education today is better than what I received or about the same, they're breaking for Wilson about 33% down to 20% for Landry. The problem for Wilson is 66% of people say it's worse than when I was there, and they are overwhelmingly breaking for Landry at this point.
As the insurance crisis continues, Louisiana voters have also seen their homeowners' insurance costs go up. Over half say it's a major financial burden. On Friday, I'll bring you details of the poll that show how Louisiana is leaning for the 2024 presidential race. For your local election headquarters, I'm Shannon Hecht.
Tim Temple will be the next insurance commissioner for Louisiana. The only other candidate, Democrat Rich Weaver, officially withdrew after qualifying last week. Weaver did not say why he was dropping out of the race. Current Commissioner Jim Donnellan did not seek re-election. A day after Governor John Bel Edwards wrote a letter to the Louisiana Board of Pardons asking them to consider clemency for 56 death row inmates, hearing dates are now being planned. The board confirmed Thursday the process of holding hearings has started.
If you're granted a hearing, there is a backlog, and it can take a long time to get before the pardon panel and before the governors.
A representation of a flawed system.
According to the Louisiana District Attorney Association, at least 20 clemency hearings are scheduled to begin, and that will happen in September. A Louisiana federal court is looking into an emergency motion to remove kid inmates from Angola. The American Civil Liberties Union's filing says young boys, mostly black, were held inside the prison with no air conditioning during extreme heat. The temperature inside sometimes going up more than 100 degrees. The ACLU brought in an expert who says the education provided doesn't teach the kids properly. The state declined to comment on the hearing, but questions whether the expert witness's information is accurate.
You spend $11,000 on educating a child, and then you turn around and incarcerate them and spend $154,000 a year. It is something wrong with that picture.
Changing this policy today, changing this practice today, can change the course of our history going forward, and it shall. And we are claiming that it will be done.
And we'll bring you more developments when they happen, of course. In Northwest Louisiana, the Bossier City Council is battling it out over term limits. Back in July, 3,000 people signed a petition demanding term limits for Bossier City's elected office holders. But those limits are not in place yet. City leaders are now asking for an opinion from the Attorney General's office about the legitimacy of that petition. The move has some city leaders and citizens crying foul, calling it a delay tactic and saying it's ignoring the will of the people, those who signed it. But some believe if the City Council enacts term limits, that could lead to litigation. Well, we're continuing our coverage, our effort to speak with all the major candidates for governor. Our Shannon Heck sits down with Hunter Lundy next. Stay with us.